guys, I'm Aaron from PhoneDog.com, and I'm hanging out with T-Mobile's new myTouch 4G. It's a carrier's second HSPA Plus device, and it goes head-to-head against the T-Mobile G2. You know, it's a good-looking device, body looks great, feels good in the hand, and it has a 1 gigahertz Snapdragon processor, 5-megapixel camera, Android 2.2 with a customized version of HTC Sense UI, and more. So the question is, does it hold a candle to the G2, or more importantly, is it a cool Android device to have on T-Mobile? We'll find out in the review. But first, special thanks to our friends at Best Buy Mobile for hooking us up with not one, but two myTouch 4Gs for use in our One Paw Bandit giveaway. You know, one thing I like about Best Buy Mobile, you go in, you get this device, it's $199.99 out the door. You don't deal with rebates, you don't deal with any paperwork, any mess like that, waiting 8 to 10 weeks to get your money back. No. You get your device and you get it for the after rebate price, and you walk out the door without having to worry about any paperwork or any messy forms or anything like that. So it's definitely a cool thing at Best Buy Mobile. But enough of that. Let's get into the review. T-Mobile myTouch 4G, Android phone, new device, starts right now. Okay, here's the myTouch 4G with T-Mobile. It's available now for $199.99 on an Even More plan, and it's the carrier's second HSPA Plus capable device after the G2. So it supports T-Mobile is what they're calling 4G like speed, or actually 4G speeds now. So cool on that front. It has a front-facing camera so you can video chat, and Quick is pre-installed on the device for just that reason. Now, I'll get into it in a minute, but Quick is actually integrated with your contacts list, which is a nice touch. So out of the box, you can see which contacts are online and go from there. So it's nice that it's integrated with the address book. Now, in terms of body, you know, it feels great in the hand. The premium build quality, and no creaking whatsoever. You'll notice the battery door is metal, and metal accents up here. Nice ring around the camera, and solid plastic. So, you know, one of my biggest pet peeves is when I pick up a device and I squeeze the sides and I can hear it creaking. Not the case on the myTouch 4G. It's just the right weight. It's about 5 ounces. Feels good in the hand, and definitely feels like a high-end device. So that's great on that front. Now, it runs Android 2.2 with Sense UI, but it runs a customized version of HTC Sense UI that's geared towards the myTouch line. That said, it's a newer version of, try to say this 3 times fast, it's a newer version of the myTouch version of HTC Sense UI. So you'll notice some changes from, if you're using the myTouch slide, you may notice some minor changes on that front. But for people that are coming from the Evo or the Hero or the Droid Aris, you'll notice some changes like the icons are boxed. When you go into the menu, you'll notice the same thing. Icons are boxed there. And then your app drawer at the bottom is a little bit different because this version comes with what's called themes, and we'll get into that in just a second. There. Now, out of the box comes with 5 home screens. You can expand it to 7 through the personalize menu and settings. But once you expand it to 7, as it says, you have to go back to, or you have to do a factory reset to get it back to 5. Now, let's jump into themes. You can see, you know, this is a nice personalization touch. The myTouch line has always been about personalization, so it's a nice feature. You can choose one of these 7 themes and customize your device there. Now, it was on the downtown theme, but let's say I want to change it to Ruby. So we'll select that, and you notice the backgrounds will change. The changes all around the device. The background will change. The app drawer will change. Some of the icons all throughout the device will change as well. So definitely cool on that front. Nice little personalization touch. So when you go into phone now, you'll notice the bottom here is optimized for Ruby. So pretty cool there. While I'm in the phone app, I want to show you something neat. A little bit of a change up here. Now, if you have contacts on the device, which I don't at the moment, but if you had contacts on the myTouch 4G, your contacts will be displayed here. And when you start to dial, like 704, for example, it'll search your contacts and it'll bring up all the people that have 704 somewhere in their number. On the same front, you can dial, you know, if I'm calling Steve, I can type in Steve, or well, that's not Steve, S-T-E-V-E, or the corresponding numbers, and it'll bring up all of Steve's numbers. Or if I have 4 or 5 Steves in my contact list, it'll bring up all of the Steves there as well. So nice touch, a little bit easier to search. You know, that's been a Sense feature for some time now, but a little bit easier to search when you see it on the display. Now, it'll show your recent calls as well. And actually, you just saw it there when I typed that. Check your balance is there. So we'll dial 611, for example. We don't have to actually listen to it connect. You'll notice one little minor change. There's a glowing green, or the notification bar turns green when you're on a call and glows. So cool little touch there. And then you'll see last call shows up. So 611 was my last call, so that pops up. And it gives you the option to add it to your contacts list if you so desire. Now, visual voicemail is available, and then of course the typical send stuff. Contacts, faves, which is a T-Mobile specific thing where you can pick your favorite contacts, and I'll show you the menu for that in a second. Call log, of course, you see 611, and that little bubble beside 611. If they were a quick contact, it would show color in there if they were online. So cool there. Let's have a look at the My Faves, and you can add a fave. Let's select it from address book. I just love check minutes. That's my person. That's my friend. So we're going to click that, and then you can see in the faves menu, it's there. And when I go back, click the fave buttons in the app drawer, you can see it's there, and then shortcuts to call and message. So very neat on that front as well. Now let's jump into the menu. You'll see some T-Mobile specific applications like App Pack, Asphalt, the demo video, some HTC specific programs that aren't Android related like Desk Clock and Flashlight, and then some pre-installed stuff like Yahoo Mail, Yahoo Messenger, Monopoly, My Modes, which is an application that allows you to change over to, for example, your work mode, your personal mode, so you can customize the device on that front. Rock Band, T-Mobile TV, and a new touch, Wi-Fi calling and Wi-Fi hotspot. Now these are coming to the G2, but they're coming in a software update. They weren't available out of the box. That said, if you got in the software update, you do have these features, but cool to see it coming out of the box on the myTouch 4G. So to recap on the screen, it's a 3.8-inch display, and it's a standard LCD, but I've been really pleased with the color quality. I mean, colors are rich, they look great, and as you can see, if the camera, let's see if it zooms in, there we go. You can see, the black colors are really black, the red is really red on the screen, just absolutely gorgeous display to be an LCD, and not a Super AMOLED display or not a Retina display. It's a basic display, but it looks great rather, and I've been very pleased on that front. Now let's jump into messaging because I want to show you a couple of things on that front. You'll notice that some slight changes in terms of the interface here, and you'll notice some that the borders are a little bit different in the messaging app. But otherwise, you'll see it's very similar to Android 2.2 with the large text box, the send button, and the attachment button, though it does give you the option in written text below. It tells you what the actual icons are, so photo, video, emoticon, GPS, contact. Now you'll notice there are two keyboard options, swipe, which comes up by default, and then you can click, change the input method to drag and dictation or touch input. Now the touch input is the HTC Sense standard keyboard, and that's the one personally I prefer. But obviously that's your call, if you purchase the device. So here's the HTC keyboard. We'll do a quick type test. And you can see, quick, easy to use. And then it swipes your thing. That's available on here as well as drag and dictation. So you can see quite a few options on the text front. And of course, actually, let me jump back into that. Of course, you can use either of those, or any of those three rather, in landscape mode as well. So 3.8-inch display, it's great because it's a nice medium between 3.5 inches like the iPhone and 4.3 inches like the Evo, Droid X, some of the other devices. So it's a nice medium and offers enough space for typing, but still small enough to fit in the hand without having to push all the way up to the top to reach that thing on the top. So good on that front. Now let's have a look at the internet. Take a look at that. And you can see again, it works well with the display, typical Android setup. And let's go to ESPN, the usual. Now, because this is Android 2.2, it does support Flash, though, if I remember right, with this one, I may have to download it from the Android market. But it does support Flash in its form. So let's have a look at and you can see, pinch to zoom works well. There's a little bit of a lag, but again, it's a multitasking capable device. And so, it's to be expected. A little bit of a lag there on that front, but not bad. You can see the Flash advertisement running up top, so you don't have to download it from the Android market. It is like that out of the box. So that's a nice touch on that front. You saw that it popped back up. So very cool. The Flash advertisements are running, and you can see a little red square there. So nice on that front. And of course, you can refresh, you can view RSS feeds, and then your typical Android browser setup or WebKit setup. Add bookmark, see your bookmarks, open up new windows. or new tabs, whatever you want to call it. And we can open up Phone Dog and go from there. You can see turn it in landscape mode. So it's very responsive. You know, it runs a 1 gigahertz processor, Snapdragon processor. It's very responsive, but given the fact that Android multitasks and there are a couple of background processes running, you'll notice that there's just a little bit of a lag when doing pinch to zoom. But otherwise, you can double tap to bring in a specific content type or bring it in the roundabout, you know, in that area. But you can see our site. You can see the ads on the top. You can see the holiday gift guide banner. And you can see the HTC advertisement that's loading right now. How fitting to see an HTC advertisement on the myTouch review. But very cool there. Nice to have that out of the box. But the slight lag in the browser. So it becomes one of those things, like I said in the HD7 review, it becomes one of those things, do you want a browser that's consistently fast, it's always, you know, perfect 99% of the time, and never lags, but there's no multitasking on the device, or would you prefer a device that multitasks, but isn't able to pinch to zoom, and zoom in and zoom out as quickly as Windows Phone 7. So tough call there. You know, both devices are on T-Mobile. That is your choice, although I'm sure we'll have a dogfight at some point. Let's take a look at Gmail, and you'll notice some changes. Actually, let's add an account. Old man McTweety, and I will type in the password. You'll notice some changes in the Gmail application. Okay, so we're in now. I couldn't remember my password for a second. So we're in and we're ready to go, and you can see that there's some slight changes to the header of the email. You'll see, for example, the Google Buzz class action settlement here. You'll notice that the header of the email is a little bit different, and then when I scroll up, it stays locked at the top part of the display. So I always know who it's from, and I can respond instantly no matter where I'm at in the email. So for example, if I want to respond, pop that out. It shows up with reply, reply all, and forward. And then I can hit that again and bring it back just to starring it and simply replying. So nice touch there, minor change. Not a huge deal, but definitely an improvement. Otherwise, archive, delete, and then, of course, forward and back are available on the bottom. But I was, overall, I've been very pleased with the Gmail app, and they've made some steady improvements over the course of a year on the Android front. So nice touch